Hi guys! Well, July is just about to wrap up and August is just about to start. Okay, maybe there's a few days, but you know what I'm saying. August is right around the corner, and here we are. We're gonna ask the cards what August holds in store for us. And as you can see, I have these three lovely decks that I'm gonna be using. I'm using this Dark Mansion Tarot for the general reading. I'm going to be reviewing this next month or, in August. So watch out for that. The Sun and Moon Tarot for the work reading and the Dreaming Way Tarot for the romance or relationships reading. So, and of course, if you watched my previous video where I use two tarot cards, Lenormand style, to do the reading, that's kind of what I'm, playing with these days. So I'm going to be doing that. As always, there will be timestamps in the video description so you can jump to your sign. And just, a quick tip, look for both your sun sign and your moon sign. If you know your moon sign, you'll probably also know your ascendant sign. Look for that as well. And combine that to get a reading which is as close to personal as it can get, I guess. And of course, if you want an even more personal reading, even more deeper reading where we address specific questions and so forth, you can always book a reading with me. Now, with that said, let's get to it. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, your tarot blogger, deck and book reviewer, and maker of these awesome videos on YouTube. I'm also a tarot card reader and mentor, and an author of this awesome book on tarot, which is available on Amazon, both paperback and Kindle, all over the world. Now, all of these links and more are in the description, so do check that out. And at the end of this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more such awesome tarot videos. Alright, so now let's see how August 2019 shapes up for water sign people. And first up, of course, is Cancer. Here we have the cards. So generally, overview, how things will look up for Cancer, we have 10 of Swords reversed. So there you go, a lot of, you're going to come out of a lot of painful sort of situations. You're going to start feeling, you're going to start coming unstuck in a way. And there you have it again, followed by the 9 of Wands reversed. So all, you can maybe slowly start bringing your guard down. You've gone through something very deeply painful, and it's a very hurtful situation that you have been dealt sort of, and you're slowly, as you're coming out of it, as the hurt reduces, as the tension eases, as the stuckness starts to dissolve, you will feel like, and you will want to sort of slowly bring your guard down again. I don't know, intuitively I'm feeling like, okay, just do this very slowly. Don't bring your guard down all at once. Just do it very slowly. Just do it, as much as you are ready. That's how much you should bring it down. Okay. Wow. That was interesting. Now at the workplace, right, we have the King of Swords. So this is work and finances. So again, logic, intellect, rules, right? Here, follow your logic, follow your intellect, follow where the logical sort of threads of thought lead you, and there you will see, you will, kind of see the whole. Again, this is a very interesting energy here. You will see a big change, a big sort of, there's this energy of death and rebirth, because this logical thinking will kind of create a situation, or it will take you through a situation where one thing ends, but something new is beginning from those ashes of it. Do you see this? This is the phoenix rising from the ashes kind of a thing. So as you're coming unstuck here, and you're following your logic here, and you're following your intellect, and intellectually following how the threads go forward, you will see that from either the ending will happen, and from that ending, or already maybe an ending has happened, and from that ending something new is going to start taking shape, and it's going to be a lovely beginning. So again, take it slow and easy, don't rush it, don't let your guard down until you're ready for it. Okay, and now let's see, in terms of relationships, here we have the Five of Pentacles reverse. Look at this card. This is not a happy place card, right? But in the reverse, it basically means that, okay, you're going to come out of, again, so see how the energy is sort of coinciding here, especially in terms of relationships. This card here, especially in the relationship arena, it's kind of telling me that you're going to, you probably were in a space where you were feeling very left out, very, bereft, that's the word, yes. And you're coming to terms with it, you're dealing with it, you're sort of making peace with it. And then followed by the Seven of Cups reversed. Wow, this is interesting. So as you're coming to terms with just being by yourself, you are now in a position where you are saying, okay, I don't need to have so many things and so many choices. I know clearly what I want to do, and I don't want to be confused by so many different options. I know what it is that I want. So now this is because this is in specifically excuse me, this is specifically in the area of relationships. So what are those relationships which make you feel or which would make you feel like you were all alone by yourself, like even if when you were with those people you felt left out? Now you don't have to hang out with those people. You know clearly that you have that choices exist, but then you can choose based on your experiences. You know exactly what to hone in, what to choose. You don't need to look at the menu. You know what you want to order. You know what I'm saying? So that's the energy there in the relationship arena. So to recap, you're coming out of a very painful and stuck and hurtful sort of situation. And so slowly, as much as you're ready, let the guard down, all right, and start to breathe a little, live a little. And at the workplace, or to do with your finances and that sort of space in your life, follow the intellectual or logical thread of thought to its ultimate destination. And you will see that even though things are wrapping up in a certain aspect of things, or maybe there's a new project wraps up, or as maybe even a job or an assignment wraps up, it will lead to something joyful and interesting. There will be something new that comes out. A new beginning is highlighted, because at the end of that wrapping up, there is something new to begin again. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of, one thing wraps up and leads to the new thing, right? Now, in the space of your relationship area, again, all the places or all the relationships where you have felt bereft, left out, isolated and lonely. Now you know that you have a choice. You don't have to hang out with those people, right? Now, after these experiences, you know clearly and exactly what it is that you don't want, which means that you can be very clear about what it is that you do want. And now you can focus on that energy. Wow, Cancer, this is interesting. Next up, we have Scorpio. Go. You guys have Seven of Wands reversed, followed by Two of Wands. This is interesting. So as you are finally starting to get done with defending your position, see this guy, right? You're finally done with defending your position, but then you realize that regardless, your job is still walking across a tightrope. It is a very interesting energy. You've proved your point, you've stood your ground, you're done with that, but it has not become easy. But it's slightly easy maybe, but it's not become like smooth yet. It's still a tightrope walk. You're still trying to find the best, smoothest path possible going forward. Now, how does this translate to the workplace? We have here the Prince of Wands reversed. So again, you're trying to make your way through different projects, maybe getting distracted, maybe getting sidetracked, maybe being called to do other things as well while you're working on the main thing. So it's a very, very tough energy to contend with. And that again, paired with the Ace of Swords reverse, leaves you feeling pretty confused and pretty sort of, lost. At the workplace, maybe multitasking is not your forte, and that is something you are discovering, and you're finding yourself a little lost and confused there. You might also have been, be facing manipulative people around you, or manipulative energy in that way, in terms of the way people talk or say things or do things, and that might be also part of the reason why you're not necessarily feeling it. But then again, maybe multitasking is not your thing. You should just stick to doing one thing at a time. And in relationships, 10 of Wands, you're the one who kind of picks up all the burdens and carries all the burdens of this relationship or these relationships that are important in your life. You're the one who holds all the responsibilities of these relationships. And there you go, Page of Swords reverse. It is really, really tiring you out. It is really, really creating a very sort of discordant energy within you. Why should you be the only one carrying the burdens? Both parties in the relationship need to be equally, if carrying the burdens of that relationship. And that is a thought process that is going to dominate you or your mind throughout as you go through this month, and look at the different relationships that are important to you, where you feel this way, and this is a thought process. Now, don't let this thought process create a destructive energy for you in that relationship, unless of course a relationship maybe once it's gone will ease the burden for you, right? That is a choice you have to make. But don't let this thought process, how do you say, create more negativity as it is, right? So try to find a way to resolve this through discussion, maybe, without being aggressive about it. So to recap, you've stood your ground, you've fought the good fight. Now, as you grow wary of it, you realize that regardless, it is still a tightrope walk, and things have gotten maybe a little bit easy, but it's still not a smooth course just yet. At work, many things demand your attention, and you are feeling super distracted. And maybe because of that, or maybe because of the various manipulations going on, the politics at the workplace, it's just crazy, 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 and it's very confusing. So maybe multitasking is not a good idea, and maybe you should just focus on doing one thing at a time. There is such a thing called time blocking, because if you cannot avoid having to several projects or dealing with several projects at a time, maybe you could just devote a certain chunk of time in your day to just that one project and focus on just that one project at that time. That sort of thing always works for me. Then in the relationship arena, if you feel that you're the only one carrying all the burdens of this relationship, this is going to actually strike a pretty discordant note for you in this month. The only suggestion is don't start arguments and fights because of it. If you can find a gentler, more sweeter way to kind of get this point across to the other person in this relationship, and maybe start a discussion about it or something where both parties are level-headedly going to tackle this, maybe you'll actually be able to make sense of this and find a way to resolve this. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Finally, we come to Pisces. So the general energy for you fish people, Pisces, is Six of Swords reversed with the Page of Swords again, reversed. This is interesting. So you are trying to logically forge a path through a very tough sort of mind space, right? Maybe there is a tough problem that you're trying to sort of move past, or maybe there is a difficult situation that you are trying to move past, work through it, try to, resolve it, make sense of it, and all of that, but it's not working out for you. You're trying to be very logical, you're trying to be very sensible about it, and you're trying to approach it from a very intellectual angle, and perhaps that is where you're making a mistake. Maybe you shouldn't be approaching it from that angle. Maybe there's another way to look at the situation and make sense of it. Okay. And because of that, it's because, because as you're trying to look at it logically and sensibly, it's creating more chaos in your head. That's what I'm feeling and sensing here. And now here's the thing. Pisces, you are a water sign. Intuitively or creatively, that would be a good approach. Intellectually, maybe not so much this time, okay? Okay, now in terms of work and relationships, here you have Four of Cups. Things are finally going to settle down in terms of your finances, in terms of your work. Emotionally, you're going to find a space where things feel steady and stable, and there you go, Five of Pentacles again. That also, you are going to be worried about it. Money may not be a strong point here. Like, work finally settles down, you find your space, you find your footing, you found your balance, so to speak. But and you come to a point where it becomes routine and everything. But then Five of Pentacles, you're still worried. Sorry, you still find yourself worried about money, you still find yourself worried about the financials. Those worries are still going to be chasing you for a little bit this month too. So just hang in there, things will get better. In terms of relationships, Ten of Swords. This is interesting. In the important relationships that you are looking at in this month, again, this Ten of Swords talks about finding yourself in a hurt position, in a stuck position, in a position where you feel really hampered, like the movement is hampered, right? But then we have the Knight of Swords. Now here is where logic may have either caused it or may actually help you resolve it, right? Looking at the situation from a logical perspective might actually, this is the area in your life where using logic might actually help your situation for a little bit, right? Just go with your intuition on this. Like, if being logically trying to look at this situation is helping you figure it out, okay, continue with it. But if being logical is kind of not helping you, then stop. The feeling that I'm getting when I'm looking at this picture here is that logic will only take you so far in terms of untangling this mess, but beyond a point, it will not help you. So looking at the relationships in your life which make you feel stuck and hurt and pained and really, hampered, logic will only take you so far into helping you resolve this sort of crisis. After that, it's only going to be intuition that comes through for you. So, quick recap. Overall, if you're trying to make sense of various things and move past them, logic is not going to really help you much. It's going to create more chaos and you will not be able to move and transition it. Oh boy. At work, again, things stabilize and are steady. Emotionally, there's no up and down, and work-wise, everything is going fine. But you're still plagued with some financial worries, and they will still follow you a bit this month as well. And again, in relationships, the especially the relationships that have created hurt and pain and sort of, a very crisis sort of situation in your life, logic will again take you only so far in terms of figuring it out. Beyond, after that point, I think intuitively or creatively or using your feelings as the compass to navigate is going to be the most help for you. Hmm. So that was August 2019. How August 2019 will sort of shape up. I would love to hear your thoughts. Tell me in the comments, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought about this reading, if it resonated with you, if it made sense to you, and so on. And I will see you again soon. Bye now. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Please give this video a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where I post my card a day readings every day. You can also order a reading for yourself, or you can learn how to read tarot from me, of course. All of these links are in the description, so check that out. I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.